Well, hi everybody. We're live now. This is our after class hangout. We're Cindy and I are both here, and
Hi,
Cindy, do you
everyone.
want to wave? Yeah, and Cindy's in her studio, and it's still daylight over where she is, even though it's what is it, 9 p.m. over there? Is it
Yes, it's 9 p.m. in England,
in England,
in
uh,
West Yorkshire.
West Yorkshire? And David Hockney is her neighbor down the road. No, that's a joke. I can't,
He's a little way away, a little
he's a
train
little
trip
way
away.
away.
Not
Okay.
him, but his
Uh,
gallery.
And we're glad to see all of you here. This is just an informal chance for us to all get together again. There were a small, merry band of us in this recent online class that Cindy taught about shading and form. And shading and form is about using one of the important design elements known as value, darks, lights, midtones, to create your images. And it was for me it was a really profound class. Oh, it looks like we got Debbie with Deb. Deb, is that you with us?
Or is that Virginia?
Oh, hey Virginia.
No, it's Virginia.
Virginia, good for you for getting on.
Hi.
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 So glad you could join us.
Yes. It's about time.
Good for you. And
Hi.
your microphone sounds great, and your studio looks so tidy and neat, and you got all that pretty sunlight coming in at the back. We're going to try and get some more brave souls.
It has a lot of windows. That's nice.
Well, it's really nice. It's and fun to meet you face to face for the first time in a while. We've done some sessions online together, but it was nighttime and I could hardly see you. Yeah. Let's go over to the event page here, guys, and we will see who else is coming on board.
It's lovely to see in the back of your studio there, Virginia.
Thank you. I worked a long, hard time to get this.
You sure have been doing a lot of work in your studio. You're almost done with your picture book dummy, aren't you?
Well, I have just gotten a review back from Anna Alswanger on the Chestnut picture book story.
Yes.
And she likes it. She has some revisions she wants me to make. And then I will be sending that into Kristen McGill Fulton, who was my teacher for the non-fiction class, and she wants to send it on to an editor that likes science stories that she has an ability to connect with, I think, this August.
Oh, that's so exciting. That's great.
Wonderful.
Now, was this Mira's nonfiction class that you recently took? Another nonfiction class?
No, this was Kim Fulton. It was Kim Fulton's class.
Okay,
great. In April. That's one reason. That's one reason I didn't join this class.
Oh, you missed that.
Yeah. Well, you can't do everything at once. I'm sending Mayasa the link to come into the Hangout. Well, good for you for moving forward on this. So you know your story is kind of classified as a nonfiction story, isn't it? Even though you're making it very user-friendly and accessible to kids.
Yes. And this is basically right. And the Kindle book, I'm still working on that. I've found that some of my wording in the magical, that is a real no-no in the South. You cannot have magic. So I'm going to reword that and send that out to one of the SCBWI members in Michigan and let her read it first before I continue on with the pictures for that. But I still want to get that out there.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
So is there a reason why magical is not allowed?
It's that Christian thing. It's the religious
Right.
fundamental
Wow.
religious thing in the
Yes,
South.
especially in the South.
Yeah, it's very conservative in the
Yes.
South, and they just have very firm ideas. Yeah, that's interesting. Wow. I would not take one person's opinion on that and just so like I would keep. I don't know if the whole South is like. I mean, I live in the South, but I'm in Austin, Texas, which is not conservative. So let's see. So the rest of you guys who are students of our recent Shading and Form class, if you'd like to come into the Hangout with us, into the live party, I'm going to put the link up for you guys to come into the Hangout and join Virginia and Cindy and me. And you can give it a whirl. If you've never been on a Google Hangout before, it's
great fun.
It's great fun.
It really is. And by the way, we have to tell you guys that Mark already ate his pot roast dinner, and I ate my chicken. So sorry.
Yeah. We're not hungry.
I've
So
got chamomile tea.
all the food we brought to the spread. Well, it's all for you guys to eat because Cindy and I were full. We might drink some of the Kool-Aid and the lemonade, but the rest of the food, the snacks are there for you. What did you bring, Virginia? Did you bring chocolate or?
No, I
You didn't bring any.
suppose I just made some fresh ice.
Okay.
I missed that. What did you bring, Virginia? What did you just make? Sorry.
I just made some fresh iced tea.
Fresh iced tea.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, I have chamomile tea. Chamomile.
And I've got cranberry juice.
Oh, aren't we also
watered down cranberry juice, and but there's still plenty to eat on our picnic spread, as you can see in the Hangout. So the reason why we're here today is to just kind of do a little bit of a debrief of a class that Cindy taught us back in the early spring or late spring, early summer. It was the Shading and Form class, Module 3 of her terrific online course called the Complete Drawing and Painting course. I'm sorry, go ahead, Cindy.
It was the Shading and Form unit of the course.
The Shading and Form unit of the Complete Drawing and Painting course that Cindy has authored and put together and makes available on her website for student members who sign up. So she was
the exciting thing is the exciting thing is amongst that time we had the course CPD accredited as well. So that was so exciting, wasn't it?
So, yes, CPD accredited.
The course became officially. Yeah.
Cindy, can you walk us through a little bit about the significance of the CPD accreditation?
I guess CPD accreditation, what that means for every general person is that I am offering a course of obviously one of the highest qualities that we can offer. It's very, very high quality when it has a CPD accreditation. It also states that the course is being delivered in a beautiful way that assures people they're going to be learning, some real learning is going to be happening. CPD accreditation is internationally recognised. It's more for business recognition rather than, say, for getting into university and things like that. It's more for presenting for a job. So, for example, if you have in your resume that you've started a CPD accredited art course, it is looked upon very highly, so very favourably, because basically CPD accredited courses they take a big commitment. They take a really big commitment study with them. So very proud of that.
We're very proud of it too. See? Now, Aiko, hi, I see you.
Really happening.
Aiko, what you'll have to do is mute the video that's on your screen because, and that way you can talk to us. Okay, can you still hear me now that you've muted? You can. Okay, so you're in the room with us. Hi, Aiko. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us here. And Virginia is over there to Cindy's right, and me, and you're really brave to come on. Have you been on a Hangout before, Aiko?
No, I haven't.
Well, you're so brave. You're so brave. And Virginia, so are you. And Cindy and I, we're brave to be on these too, because you never know what's going to go wrong with the tech. But we're willing to venture it because we feel like we're, new frontiers, like the Star Trek crew. We're going to new places and learning how to network with each other. So Cindy was one of the students in the Form and Shade class as well.
Aiko. You mean Aiko?
I said Cindy. Aiko. I know. And Virginia has taken many classes and been on many adventures with us. I think she was taking a nonfiction children's writing course and was not in the Shading and Form course, but she knows Cindy, and she's been with us for quite a great while. We've had a lot of fun together. And yeah, so the CPD, is that the right acronym? What is it again? CPD.
CPD, Continuing Professional Development. Now, as I was saying, well, in some industries it's compulsory, like with, accountancy, doctor industries. Some industries, I can't really quote them, but some it's compulsory, but obviously with art it's not compulsory. Yeah. But sure. It's very handy for anyone who is seeking CPD accreditation points, because my course is worth 200 points for CPD accreditation, which is a lot. But that's the full course, the full 6-unit course. And for children too that are, say, in their teens and wanting to impress universities, it's a great idea to study this course. They could do it for 2 years. So if they started in about year 10, it would be perfect, and study the course through until they're about to go to university. They'd have a great, strong portfolio, and also, of course, the fact that they had studied a CPD accredited art course. So,
sure. Yeah, that's a really good point. And just doing the assignments and learning the skills in your course will make for visual arts, makes for a much stronger portfolio. And a lot of times it's all about the portfolio. So most times in art schools and curriculums, and meeting art directors too. So yeah, so we'll focus tonight mostly on the Shading and Form course, but the other components of Cindy's complete drawing and painting course include portrait drawing, acrylic painting, composition. Tell me some more, Cindy.
And outline drawing, which is really important.
What is outline drawing? What is?
We don't realise at first that that when we are actually beginning to draw an artwork, all these different little parts that come into the whole. Should I speak about that now, Mark, or did you want to go on further? I think
that would be great. You're gonna tell us how it all fits together, aren't you?
Yeah, it's about the jigsaw puzzle of understanding the full course in the full sort of spectrum. So what happens when you go into a live art class, for example? Let's say you've never really done very much drawing at all, and you're just in a position where you walk into a live art class. You've got your bowl of fruit and your big setup in front of you, or the model in front of you, and suddenly you're asked to draw this object in front of you. Well, it's just such a massive and daunting experience, and a huge task to undertake, because basically what you're having to do is break down that object in front of you into all these different elements, all these different tasks that have to take place all at once. What my course does is it breaks down those tasks into little learnable chunks so that you're fully prepared then to draw just about anything you please. So it's not about just learning how to do an urn, a shoe, a cloth, a fold, whatever. It's not about that. I use those objects as a learning tool to teach the formula or method or fundamental principle or whatever it is that's being taught. So in the course, yes, there are 6 whole units to the course. 2 of those units are painting, and actually we are currently we're actually putting those courses into colour pencil now as we speak, and Unit 2 is almost complete, and it will be in colour pencil. But once again, the medium is kind of secondary. to the principle being taught. So regardless if you're learning in colour pencil or if you're learning in acrylic paint, it really doesn't matter. You're learning the principles of colour mixing and combining colour and how you compose colour in an artwork. These are all such important things. So basically when we sit down to that almighty task of creating a drawing, a completed finished drawing, we're confronted with the outline drawing. So in other words, the actual drawing of the object itself. Now, when I say the outline, that also includes
the principle being taught.
Sorry, that's all right.
All right. Now, Cindy, we were talking about pulling everything together. And hi, Debbie, and hi, Maya. So these are two more students from Cindy's Shading and Form class. And it's real great to have you guys with us. And Cindy was just telling us about how she's incorporating color pencils into her acrylic module of the color module. Did I understand that right, Cindy?
Yes, that's correct. So what we're doing for Unit 2 and Unit 6 is we're actually translating them into coloured pencil so that they'll be available as coloured pencil rather than acrylic. So people can choose which one they'd like to study. So the same principles are being taught, but it's just a different medium.
Yes, very cool. Very cool.
So
and,
I was speaking about the reason for all the different units of the course. So there's 6 units. In the first unit we're learning to draw in outline, and that's a really important unit because during that stage of the course you're learning the fundamental principles like construction drawing, and a lot of people haven't even heard of construction drawing before they do this course. But construction drawing is so important. Then you've got your beautiful traditional grid method, and again a lot of people haven't used the grid method really professionally, learning how to divide it down to minuscule little portions. But the whole idea of that first unit of the course is not even just about learning those different tools and methods that a lot of the great masters taught us. It's about training the mind-eye-hand coordination, so you ultimately have more control over what comes out of your hand. So that's the first unit. It's all about drawing, the outline drawing, and then you have Unit 2, which is paint and mix colour, or a big colour pencil. So what we're learning in that course is all about how to combine colours so that they're looking aesthetically pleasing, so that they work together, so they're colour schemes. You're learning how to mix colour so that you have a lot more control over the colour mixing process. But that Unit 2 course can stand alone. That can be studied at any time throughout the 6 units, so long as it's studied before Unit 6. And the whole idea of it being so, your ability to be able to move that around is so that people who are desperate for colour can hop on in and study that unit anywhere they like. But a common course that we recommend that everybody studies is either dive into Unit 3 if you have more experience, like our girls did, like Aika and Debbie and Miesa did. You know, they just dived into Unit 3 because those girls have all had more drawing experience, and I can clearly see that because they're absolutely amazing, in the course. So if for people that have got drawing experience, it's fantastic just to dive into the Unit 3 course. I love the way some of you, though, have chosen to go back and study Unit 1. It is a great idea to do that as well because you never know what you're going to learn. You never know what you're going to pick up from that Unit 1 course. And it will improve your outline drawing skills if you need that, bit of extra training in that area. We all need it, so it's really valuable. Is that Scott that's just joined in, did I see?
Hello.
Good evening. How are you?
Let's see.
So then, of course, after Unit 3, well, during Unit 3, this is when we're learning to put the shade into the object. So imagine you're in that art class now. You walk in a room and you're confronted with this great big still life in front of you, or whatever it is that you're drawing, and you've done your outline drawing. Then it's time to fill it with form. So that's what we were studying in the Unit 3 class. We were learning how to fill the object with form, just using the 5 areas of light and shade. And there's 5 major areas that everybody was learning, and they did a great job. So I can talk more about the course a bit later, Mark, if you like, and we can perhaps go on from here.
That was a good overview, and I think we're going to peek into the folders from our class with you, Cindy, in a minute, and just look at some of the work that the students were doing in shading and form, just so those who aren't familiar can get an idea. I took drawing in college, a lot of drawing classes and a lot of life drawing classes, but I was not taught the very classical ways that you are teaching and have been showing students, and I found it such a revelation. So particularly with shading, I think a lot of us learn to kind of come up with our own version of shading, and we kind of fudge it a little bit, and we read a little bit here and there, and we read a little bit here and there, and we sort of concoct our own version of shading, and that sort of works for us. But to go and really learn the precise methods that you're teaching ratchets things up in a really unexpectedly good way, and that was kind of my experience. Do any of you guys on the Hangout want to chime in about your encounter with shading and form, and maybe what you thought it was in the first place, and then how it was different than what you thought under Cindy's teaching? And you've taken art before.
I think I've never been to art class. I've done some. I went to I went to a Waldorf school, which has a lot of art, but it's been such a long time.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't know. It's probably a different experience because I didn't have a lot to compare.
Yeah.
But I think I actually couldn't believe that I did those drawings,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that I just loved the course, and it just gave me a lot self-confidence, much more self-confidence.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah, wasn't that fun? I felt like I was using the pencil, and once I got over that learning curve of using the pencil the way Cindy was showing us, I felt like I wasn't struggling with the pencil anymore, and it became more of an extension of my own, what I was looking at and what I was thinking, and the tool of the pencil stopped getting in the way. It became more like a paintbrush. It became more effortless, a lot of less labor involved.
Yes. Yes.
Anybody else have that?
The techniques were so good. It helped a lot.
Yeah. Let's see. So Maesa has not had a lot of formal art training in recent time. Aiko, can I put you on the spot a little bit? You've had no formal art training. Your background is in pharmacy, and you're a PhD pharmacist and researcher. But you have a wonderful drawing style. Have probably always had it. But I'd be interested to know what your discovery was in Cindy's class, or what surprises it held for you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, great. Yes, perfect.
Okay. Her style, like enthusiasm about teaching and art, it's just contagious.
Contagious? Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it was very, very good. But I had to overcome, like I couldn't go darker to the place where I supposed to.
Yeah.
I had to overcome the, I don't know, I always go too soft.
Aiko has a very light touch with her art, which makes it lovely. But we've all been pushing her in the Marks and Splashes course and in Cindy's course to bring some of those darks in.
Right, and she did in the end too, Mark. It's just stunning what you've done, Aiko. I'm just so proud of you, because you really did build up those tones in the end, and you really did get that depth there. I think the thing too to remember that we have only been working with a 6-tone value scale, and a lot of the time as artists get more confident, more experienced, you can work with a 10-tone value scale or more. And I always teach in the 6-tone value scale, because this course, the Unit 3 course, is all about learning to control where to put those 5 major areas of light and shade. So there's a new level that you can also go to next, Aiko, and taking those darks up even more to and using darker pencils, even charcoal, which is a great idea. So during the Unit 4 course, everybody gets to experience the charcoal and to feel that blackness that you can get on the page and the depth of tone, the tonal range. So
What's
great. I'm really proud of you.
Yeah, I'm proud of you too, Aiko. And what's really fun about the doing the darks, if you do start incorporating darks in your picture, you'll get that simultaneous contrast thing going, where the darks you've got in your picture will make your lights look even lighter and softer. So it's kind of a win-win in either direction when you can bring in those contrasts and use contrasts skillfully. So also, Aiko, would you consider pencil the medium you use most? I think you also use digital tools, don't you? And you've worked with a lot of the softwares.
I do watercolor. You taught me watercolor.
I taught I taught you watercolor in the Marks and Splashes course.
Yeah.
And you've taken that and run with it. But you've also used some other digital softwares.
Yes, I do.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. We're meeting for the first.
I've been mailing list for quite a while.
You've been out. Oh, well, I'm glad you could join us, Scott.
Yeah, I just thought I'd drop in, see what was going on.
Very good. Well, great. Is it nighttime or daytime where you are?
Daytime.
Daytime. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you an artist, a fine artist, sketcher?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm a cartoonist, an illustrator, a painter, drawer. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, we're glad you can join us. Yeah, we're all sort of debriefing on the class we took with Cindy back in the spring, the form and shade class, and I think we're all sort of just rhapsodizing about it here because it was a time of discovery for us, and it's always thrilling to learn a new tool or a new arrow for your quiver, I guess.
Sure.
I'm having trouble with my metaphors, but so we're exultant with what we learned in the class. All right, I'm going to.
Debbie might want to have a say about something, Mark.
What's that?
Debbie may want to say something to us about.
I'm going to put Debbie on the spot now. Debbie, is it daytime? You're in Australia, aren't you?
Hi, Debbie.
No, I'm in Georgia.
You're in Georgia. That's right. That's right. Why is it so dark? It's so dark where you are.
I live in a cave.
You live in a cave. Okay, well that explains it then.
Yeah.
You want to talk about your epiphanies or what you discovered or what you were surprised by in the class, or just talk about what you're doing right now with your drawing?
I just thought I knew how to draw a shoe until I took the class. I'm working also with Maya Cristina Gonzalez, and I'm working on being an illustrator. That's my goal, is just to be a children's book illustrator.
So you're in Maya's class. Which one are you taking with Maya?
Well, I'm in the Heart of It collection, and where everybody that participated in the class gets to do a two-page spread.
Yeah.
And she's putting a book together with all of our work.
Oh, that's real exciting. Yeah, Maya teaches. She teaches. She owns the schoolofthecreativemind.com, and she's in California, and she's a wonderful, inspiring teacher and a wonderful fine. I love her paintings. She's a wonderful fine artist as well, and several of us have taken classes from Maya as well, and we really enjoy her work and what she brings to this whole issue of creativity and visual arts and writing too. And are you going to send out the link to the book with all of your two-page spreads in it when you guys are finished with that? Okay, good. We'll share that around. And your shoe was very beautiful. I think we're going to be taking a look at your shoe and Aiko's shoe and Maissa's shoe and my shoe, and I guess we should throw in Cindy's shoe too. That was our piece de resistance in the course. We all were building up to drawing that shoe that scared us all half to death. I'm going to go into the folder. I'm going to share my screen if it's okay with you guys, and we'll just take a look at some of the work, and we'll see what we can see here. I love it when the screen does that.
Oh, wow.
So, Debbie, what was your favorite part of the course?
Learning patience.
Learning patience.
Wow.
Oh,
And
think
just showing up to the table, that's a lot of my problem. Is making the time to just sit down and draw.
yeah,
And I think that's such an important thing to say, because
yes,
a lot of us, we really don't have the time, and we have to create the time. And there's such a massive difference between having time and creating time. That's what I find too.
Yeah, sometimes
yes.
if I'm not in the mood, if I just sit down for a few moments and just get the pencil in my hand, then maybe I'll draw, you know?
Oh, I love that. It's so true.
Well, by having the class live like we did, we were all kind of held accountable for the next week's homework,
Right.
and it really kept us on our toes, and it was a
Yeah, I must say that everybody has been a little bit slower now that the pressure's not on.
on the
And
shading.
I really want to encourage you to try to keep up the momentum, because it's too easy to just let it stretch on, you know, week after week. But you really are building brain pathways, and I don't know if any of you have read the books by, say, for example, Norman Doidge, The Brain That Changes Itself. Has anybody
Oh.
read that?
No, are you going to give us the
Fantastic
link to
book.
that? Are you going to mail us the link to that book?
I've got it written down actually
It's in the
the
lessons.
course, but
Okay. Great.
I'll send that to you. Anyway, Norman Doidge, The Brain That Changes Itself. It's a brilliant book, and it talks about brain pathways and how they can grow. You can grow brain pathways. Also, The Talent Code by Daniel Coyle. That's another really good book. And they're written in the course. I'm not actually sure where. I can't remember. Can you believe
Yeah,
it?
they're in the lesson, the module. Okay, this is the Portraiture Foundations module that's several of us are in now, taking now with Cindy.
Well, the books I'm recommending here, I'm not sure. I don't think they're in that. I think they're in the first unit of the course, Unit 1. So I will send you some links to that.
Okay.
Titles
Okay.
to those, Mark, and then you can send them out. I'm just
Great.
writing that down because I'll forget otherwise, because it might change itself.
Oh, that's great. It will remind you. Now, can you guys see my computer screen with Debbie's shoe up?
No, I can't. Oh, I can see it down on the small screen. I'll let you talk, Mark, and then it will show up.
Okay, let me bring this up here. I got a screen share.
It just flashes every now and then on the little picture down the bottom.
I see.
I don't know about everybody else though.
All right.
Now we can see your icon.
Okay.
I know it takes a bit of fiddling to get that screen share thing to work, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'll keep trying.
Anyway, I'll continue talking then about the way you're building brain pathways, why it's so important to continue your study, because everything in the course is designed for one skill to build upon another in each unit. So the people that are in the portrait unit at the moment, for example, you're just studying the face parts individually, and then you'll be putting it together as the whole. So you're learning how to do hair and the features, the eyes, the lips, the noses, and things like that. So you're building one skill upon another.
Great.
I still can't see your screen share.
Okay, if you guys can't see it, try refreshing. Those of you who are just watching on the event page, mine just came up on the event page, my shared screen. So why don't you refresh your screens and see if you can see it. Can the rest of you see the shoe? Click on my window in the control panel, and it should bring up the shoe. It's broadcasting. Mira's with us. Mira, I'm going to try to invite you into the Hangout.
Yes.
Would you mind?
So,
This is Debbie's shoe.
Perhaps if they try clicking on your image down the bottom, because I've done that. Just click on Mark's.
Now you can see the shoe
down the bottom.
Something happened to my camera. I'm going to.
I can still see your shoe, Mark.
You can still see. Okay, that's actually
see the shoe now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Debbie's shoe actually, and I'm going to change over to Aiko's shoe. Let's
That's
see,
the same
Aiko.
one, isn't it? Oh, that's a column fold. That was one of the other
Yeah.
exercises.
All right, now I've clicked on Aiko's shoe,
Okay.
her final
here we go.
project. Can you see that?
Very good, Aiko. That's very good.
Yeah, she did beautifully with it. And look at those darks she got in there finally.
Look at that. That is
Right.
brilliant.
Isn't that beautiful?
I
What we
just love
learned is
looking at these.
you can create all of these effects by just using darks and lights the right way, the way Cindy showed us. Here's Michelle. Michelle is in Berlin, and she had to get to bed early tonight. But this is Michelle's shoe. Another interpretation of the shoe. And you can see her little value scale up here at the top right that we all were taught to do to make sure we were mindful of the 5 different steps of value from white over here all the way to black. We had to create that ourselves.
There's actually 6 altogether. There's 6, Mark.
I'm
The
gonna
white
count.
one there, you can only just see it,
3.
is the white of the page.
It is. It's 6. Yeah, that's right. Here's the white of the page, and there's the 6. Can you see
And-
Michelle's shoe?
And the dark in this
Yes.
value scale is actually a lot darker than it needed to be, because if you look in the shoe, that dark tone is not quite in there. That dark tone there would be appropriate as the 8th level value. Can you see how there's just a bit too much of a jump between the level 6 and the level 5? There's a little bit too much.
That's too much.
jump.
Okay. So seeing those
Looking at the
gradations
dark.
seeing those gradations in value is another
Because-
big part of the training that we had.
Yeah, it's important to understand that you're working with value in a picture is that it's all relevant. So
All
one
relevant.
tone relevant to the other.
That's a great point. And the trick is also to include to be able to include that entire range so that the relevancy becomes meaningful because it's all within the you sort of set the rules by having your 6 tones, and then you've got to follow those rules in your drawing. Maisa, we haven't shown yours yet, have we? Here's Maisa's shoe. And so Maisa's dark is more in keeping with, I think, with what Cindy was talking about. We were using regular old drawing pencils. And so here you can see Maisa's light tone and her black. Let's see, that's Michelle's. That was an earlier version of Michelle's. Let me see who we're missing now. Oh, I haven't shown mine yet. There was mine. And
Hang on, there's a time delay there, Mark.
oh yeah.
You get to yours.
There's I guess my value scale wasn't on this picture, but Cindy taught us about even creating these little crazy, I don't know if you can see mine up yet, but see these crazy hairline wrinkles in the shoe leather where the creases are? And
yours was
Yes.
mine was
yours needed to be a bit more constrained. You've
Yeah,
got
yes,
yours
mine was
in a little bit too many areas.
I was having too much fun with the texture, and I got a little carried away with the wrinkles. But I was so enjoying it because I've actually owned boots that have wrinkles like that in them and worn shoes. But yeah, Cindy was trying to hold me back. So it's kind of a question of balance and controlling yourself and modulation.
Well, with those creases, Mark, those little tiny indentations that we were making, the whole idea was that they were to be the creases of the shoe, whereas
Right.
you've actually used it like texture of the shoe. But it looks effective, and you've done really well.
And then see what Cindy had us working. Actually, it took us right down into the braids on the shoelaces, and made us mindful of those patterns. So she didn't what's the word, scrimp on, I'm not using the right verb, but she took every detail to its ultimate thorough conclusion, and she wouldn't let us off the hook until we'd actually gone in there and really understood what a shoe stitch should look like, and then applied the pencil techniques to create those effects. It was amazing, and you'd think that would be real laborious and tedious to do, but actually her instructions were so simple to follow that once you got the hang of it, it became very effortless. Effortless. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, whose is this? This is Maissa's again. Okay, so anyway, those were our shoes. Make sure I didn't forget anybody.
We didn't get to see Mies's again because there's a bit of a delay there. Oh, there it is.
Oh.
That's Mies's, is it?
Okay. It just flashed on quickly. Let's see. I'll put hers back on.
What
shoe
range of
Yes.
pencils were you using?
We used the oh gosh, we used the HB.
HB, 2B, and 4B.
Just those three. She wouldn't let us use the 6B.
Now, see, the whole idea is trying to constrain the values and tones just to those 6 tones and values while you learn where to position the 5 areas of light and shade.
Yes.
So it's all about that. It's about repetitively positioning the full light area, the reflected light area, the cast shadow, and the half tone areas, so that you really get to know those, and the shadow edge, so that you really get to know those 5 areas just over and over again. And then that basically builds your brain pathways so that you're able to apply those even from your imagination, so that you're not limited to just looking at a photograph. Because often when you're looking at a photograph, you need theory as well. Because a lot of times, especially in shadows, you don't get to see that valuable cast shadow. And you see that in the column fold, perhaps, Mark, if you pop that up.
Let me pull that out.
Column fold.
And we'll look at
you
everybody
can see it more in the column fold. And then we also talked about soft edges, hard edges, and gradations. And there really are only those 3 different ways that you need to learn to shade. I think this is a work in progress here, isn't that?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a work in progress.
Let's go back to that to the columns. Let's see.
Or even to the little urn you can see as well.
Okay. Yeah. Let's.
But it's just interesting. The whole concept is the idea is it's just repetitive. Oh, these kettles are great to see. Can we see the kettles?
Yeah, we'll go see the kettles in a second. But now I'm over here on Aiko's fold, her drapery fold. Can you see it yet?
I'd love to know what the girls thought of doing this exercise, Mark.
Yeah, guys, do you want to speak up?
Well, as I said, when I was doing that one, it was very interesting to see the more I would put the darks, the more I would see the cloth coming, the layers, I would say.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, like it would give that effect of what's in front and what's in the back.
Yes.
And then I could find myself in the drawing again when I could see those things going on. So I got lost, and then I found myself many times.
Yes.
All the drawings.
It would be kind of a lost and found endeavor, wouldn't it? We'd lose our way, and then we just have to remember how simple it was and pull ourselves back.
Yeah.
I have a tip for that. I have a tip to help you with that problem.
What's that?
That can happen when you're drawing drapery. You can lose yourself and lose the position that you're up to. There's a couple of things that you can do. You can put little halfway marks. This is why it's good to draw a rectangle around the object, at least when you're learning. You can draw a rectangle around the object, and then you put halfway marks around the rectangle. You know, half around each side and the top and bottom, and even a quarter of the way, top and bottom. And do the same thing on the drawing that you're drawing next to, and then you can keep track a little bit better of where you're up to. But the easiest way is just to put your finger on the drawing that you're copying from. Put your finger on the place that you're up to at the time. So that'll help you to keep track of where you are. And another tip too, you can even cover the top of the drawing and the side of the drawing, 2 separate sheets of paper. You do that with the one that you're copying from and the one that you're working on, so that you contain the area. In particular, that would be necessary for the fold that was second in from the right side. And I bet that was the area that you got confused. Was that the area that sort of confused? Was it Miesa that was speaking before?
Yes, I think that
Yeah.
area and on the tip too, because it's small. I got a little confused there too.
Mm.
And that confusion is really fascinating. I love to talk about that a little bit more. Did you know that our brain becomes more confused with the curve than any other shape? The reason why we become so confused is because it sort of straight away takes us into this relaxing sort of mode. And what you need to do to pull yourself out of that is you speak to yourself out loud. And that's what I call the artist's language. And I go into detail with that in Unit 1. So when you're trying to draw a curve in the right position, if you speak out loud and say to yourself things like this, now I'm drawing the curve towards the window. No, now I'm drawing it back towards the bookshelf. And if you speak out loud to yourself like this, it will stop the logic brain from interfering. Because what the logic brain does when we're trying to draw something is it just chatters, but usually telling you to stop doing it. Usually it tells you, I hate this, I can't do it, I don't like it, I don't want to do it. And this is primitive lizard brain speaking. The way to overcome that lizard brain speaking to us negatively like that is just to talk out loud. If you speak out loud about the task on hand, you will instantly stop the negative voice.
Mm-hmm.
It almost sounds like
brain,
mindful meditation almost.
The logic brain cannot multitask. I am so passionate about this, Mark, because it's a single thing that stops people learning to draw. It's just the brain coming in saying, you can't do this, you never could, your teacher said you couldn't when you were 5, I hate it, I don't like it, blah, 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 blah. But guess what? The brain says that to us every time we learn something new. Whether we're learning to bake a cake, whether we're learning to play a game of chess, whether we're learning to play a game of tennis, whether we learn to knit, sew, fish, whatever, the brain will do the same thing. Can't do this, I hate it, and it's so impatient. It's just such an impatient little thing. But the reason why the brain is like that is because it is protecting us from anything new. It's so concerned about this act of drawing. It really is worried about us drawing. And the reason it's so worried is because it thinks we're going to lose our mind. We're going to, let me give you an example because this is so important. An example would be if we lived our life in the artist mode, in the artist way of thinking, honestly, we would probably only live for a very short period of time. I can't imagine the accidents that could happen. Let us look at something as an artist has to look at it. For example, a chair, a common chair. If we looked at the chair with the artist brain in our every day of life, we look at the chair and say, oh, look at that unusual object. Look at the beautiful way that straight line stands up perpendicular to the floor. Oh, look at the way it just travels across on a horizontal. Oh, look at those lovely mesh tops on that. Oh, and feel it, you know, and look at the angles. Oh, it's so beautiful. Now, can you imagine the panic, the sheer panic of the logic brain? Oh my gosh, what's she doing? You'll never be able to sit in the chair, will you? And this is what our brain does to us when we try to draw. And this is what we're fighting against. But I must say that there are books, there are incredible, wonderful books. I love Betty Edwards, Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain, for example. Yeah. However, I still feel that there has been room for growth on that book still. And there's nothing wrong with progress. The progress that I feel so passionately about is that we can get into our artist brain immediately. We don't have to try and shut the other brain up or anything. All we have to do is speak out loud. We use the artist language. And I'm going on like a nutter here because I'm just so excited about it. But I do write about that in Unit 1 because it's just so important. Oh, and by the way, don't say to yourself, I'm drawing that curve towards the right or left. That doesn't work. I'm drawing the curve towards the window. I'm drawing the curve towards my bookcase. oh, I'm drawing the curve straight ahead. I assure you, you only need to do that for a few seconds, and bang, in comes, and you're like a dream again, and you're back into it. There you go, tip for the night.
Tip for the night.
Sorry, everyone.
There's so much psychology. What do you guys think of that? Did you find some of this to be your case where you were?
Yes, in my case, I think it's like it works like an inner critic that's always saying, "Don't do this, don't do that." Like Cindy said, it's really bad.
It was so interesting to hear that chatter going on. It's amazing we all got through it, isn't it? Let's see. I was going to look for the teapots really fast, and then we're kind of getting close to the end of our picnic. But I wanted to show. Can you guys see the Aiko's ceramic pot up? Yeah. Can you see it?
And I did say to Aiko in that critique that she needed to go darker, didn't I, Aiko?
Let's see. Here's Debbie's. We were, and then here's Lori's.
Beautiful.
There's mine. Mine was a little rough.
You're going a little bit fast.
Yeah, I hadn't quite gotten used to using the pencil as a tool yet.
There's marks. Yeah, that's yours, Mark.
But it was still an exercise full of revelation. It was.
But it's great, Mark, because you've got the volume there. It's beautiful. And I know that you were still getting a lot of pencil marking there.
Yeah.
And look at this. This is gorgeous.
Let's see. Mayus's is. Let's see. I want to pull up Mayus's. And look at that.
Yours is showing.
Yeah. That's Mayus's.
No, that's yours still showing. Now it's me.
Now, okay. Now it's Mayus.
You've got to wait a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Just wait a little bit. Otherwise you're saying the wrong artist's name to the wrong work. Sorry, Mark.
Okay.
So is this one that's on the screen now again?
Are you seeing Mayus's?
Yeah.
I don't think so. That doesn't look like Mayus. Mayus, is that yours?
I think so.
Oh, yes.
I think it is mine. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay. It says, well, the slide I've got up now says
they're all so similar.
Yeah. Similar yet different. Everybody kind of did it differently, but look at those smooth shadows and tones and the gradations.
I love this upper ring, the loops that are on this particular one on Mayus's, the little loops. Look at that three-dimensional form that she's got there. That's really beautiful.
I was trying to enlarge it, and I ended up not. Whoops.
Woo,
I was trying to enlarge it, and I ended up making it smaller.
Did you enjoy doing that, Mayusa?
I did. Yes. Yes. It was a game of lost and found again, but
yeah.
I really enjoyed. Like, I think every drawing was a challenge, but a very good challenge.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It was not like a struggle that I was like, I didn't get impatient or anything.
Yes, I found that too. That, like, once we started to get to trust the process, it stopped being a struggle, and it became something that just sort of unfolded or happened. It was rather magical. Oh, I'm using that word, Virginia. I'm using the word, or Debbie, I'm using the word magical. But,
I was really excited.
Let's see. Here's Charlene's and Michelle's, and I think that was.
Mark, it's really important what you're talking about with the shading and form there. A lot of people find that they have this love-hate relationship with shading, and the real acceptance of the form that you're creating happens in about the last 20%.
Yes.
So don't be surprised. Yeah, if you make your way through your drawing and you think this is looking rubbish, this is just not working out, I'm not happy with it, keep going.
Yes.
Keep going.
You think you're not getting
anywhere. It falls
anywhere.
into place the last 20%. Sorry, Matt.
That's a great point, and that was our experience as well. All right, now if I can figure out the tech on this, I want to try to end the screen share, and I'm not quite getting it yet. Let's see. Hang on, I want to end the screen share, and I want to make sure we have. I see the reflection. I'm having trouble getting to my. I'm gonna leave the Hangout for a second, guys, and come back in because my screen has frozen a little bit. Cindy, hold down the fort if you will, and
yeah, no problems.
Oh,
I'm just seeing that we have somebody else that's joined us, and I'm sorry, but I can't find your name. Mira. Is it Mira? Mira, can you hear me? Well, if you may not have a microphone, but anyway, for joining us, and it's lovely that you're here. That's really nice.
Cindy, one thing I wanted to tell you is that I think I felt in your course that you were very enthusiastic about what you were teaching, and it made such a difference because I really got, every drawing was a challenge, but I was also enthusiastic to make them, and so I think that was very nice of you.
Yes.
And I think it comes from you.
I don't know if
that was nice.
Thank you very
can
much.
you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, I've got a headset on.
Oh, is that Mira?
Hi, Mira.
Sorry, who was talking? I think that was Mira. I think
That
she
was
dropped out.
Mira.
It was. Oh, thanks, Virginia. It's funny that you say that, Yessa, about the excitement and the enthusiasm, because it is a very slow process doing smooth shading, but what you're learning from it is just so valuable, because then afterwards you can go back to your other more loose drawing, and it's a lot more fun because you've got those brain pathways. And when you're doing your watercolor, you can just pop on those highlights now, and
Yes, it looks like I have
that it's helped you with your watercolor painting since you've gone through the course.
This looks really wonderful, Cindy. Cindy, this looks really wonderful. Now I'm back.
Oh, yes. Go on. Were you saying something else? Sorry. We can't hear you. Nope. Maybe you're talking, but I can't hear you. Sorry. Oh well, I'll keep talking. So I was just saying, have any of you girls, Debbie, Miesa, or Aiko, have you experienced any benefit with your watercolor painting since studying the shading course? Do you sort of look for shadows more now and highlights?
It's just very, very lagged.
Hey, I'm back. Hey, Mira.
I'm not.
Mira.
I was just saying I'm very lagged, but I'm really impressed with what you guys all did.
Well, thank you, Mira. This is Mira Reisberg of the Children's Book Creative Facebook page and the Children's Book Academy. We're just really honored that you're joining us, Mira. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great.
Yes.
What fun. I thought I'd taken myself right out of the meeting, and I was panicked. I was thinking I'd left you all like the captain of the Titanic jumping off the ship first.
Hi, love.
Hi, Mira.
Hi, darling.
Good to see you. I know I owe you a phone call, Mira, so I'm going to call you later tonight if that's okay. Listen, we're done sharing our screen. I want to ask Cindy about her new licensing experiences. Cindy is now showing her work. She's a very recognized fine artist.
Yes, and I'm honored to be here.
We're honored to have you, Mira.
Hi, Mira.
Now, Cindy is an Australian just like you, Mira. She's from Queensland. Cindy?
Yes.
I'm going to let's talk about licensing for a second.
Oh, yes.
I'm trying to read my handwriting here. You have got work that your artwork is now being in the marketplace for licensing, and can you tell us about fulcrumgallery.com and porterfieldsfineart.com and your new role with them?
Well, I've been with Porterfield's Fine Art for about 18 months now.
Okay.
So, porterfieldsfineart.com, they're one of the biggest art licensing agencies in North America.
Oh, no wonder she's so awesome.
Yeah. She's Australian, I know.
Oh,
Mira's got it.
Mira's got the time lag, hasn't she?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Mira. So yeah, I've been with Porterfield's Fine Arts for quite some time now, and it's a very exciting relationship because they're just an amazing company. Lance Class and Lynn Cogshaw, they're both wonderful people, and they work with me, and we've been putting my work out there. And recently, my work was accepted by 5 major print companies for licensing my work into, onto canvas and paper. So that's really exciting. So it's wall art, and fulcrumgallery.com are one of those companies, which is really exciting. Some of the others are wholesale companies, but Fulcrum Gallery, it's spelled F-U-L-C-R-U-M gallery.com. If you want to have a look, all you do is type my name in, and then you can see the full spectrum of the work that I do. That is my digital art, so they're the digital images, but you can see more of my work, my drawings and everything at cindywider.com.
Why
but
should
being
Cindy,
a licensed, sorry.
Go ahead, finish your thought, and I'll ask you a question.
Sorry. I was just going to say, being a licensed artist has been a very big, massive step for me because I'm normally a gallery selling fine artist. So moving into art licensing has been very challenging, mostly because my work has had to adapt a little bit to suit the licensing market, and we've had some great results, some not so good results, so I'm learning. But what we're moving into now is, I'm so excited. I've only found out today, basically, that we've decided that I'm going to explore more of the giftware market now. So my work is going to be more adaptable for, on bags, little gift bags and gift paper and things like that. And it's something that I've always wanted to do, but I've only just made up my mind that I will actually do it. So I'm very excited about that. Anyway.
Why should fine artists and illustrators, why might they be interested in this world of licensing? Is it a good revenue opportunity for artists out there?
It is absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
it's absolutely amazing if you can cut into the industry. If you can actually get into the industry. At the moment, I've only got my work into wall art. As I said, it's been difficult adapting it, for licensing. But people with whimsical styles, I think you've got the best chance of getting your work into art licensing. I would recommend trying to get a great agent. And there's a wonderful program that's often on offer, Lila Rogers, and I bought her book, which is fantastic too. I just want to make things. And so Lila Rogers, she has a program where you can study with her, learn with her, and I've seen some amazing art come out of her groups, people that, study with her.
Do any of the rest of you guys know Lila Rogers? Have you taken anything from her? And maybe we can get her Lila Rogers.
I'm just looking for her book.
Is it Lila or Lily?
Lila. L-I-L-A. Can you hear me?
Lila Rogers.
Lilla. I just went off to get my book because I just love this book.
How do you spell her last name? Oh, I just like to make things. That's the name of the book. Okay. Huh.
And it's a wonderful, fun book that you can buy. I love it because it keeps the fun in art. And it's sort of quite a crafty little book too. But this is just the book that she writes. She actually has a course online. I've never studied her course or anything. I don't know her. I have just seen a lot of really good work come out from her. And she actually runs a competition as well, where if if she discovers you and thinks you're really fantastic, you can get a license with her and all sorts. So that's a really interesting avenue.
Terribly fun and terribly meaningful for children's book illustrators. That's children's book art lends itself to lots of things in addition to children's book illustrations, doesn't it? And
Mark,
has so much appeal.
What a great way to get your book known is to develop your character in licensing. You can get it on mugs and things like that. you see, I've never really been one to want to do my own product development. I'm just not really interested in that, you know, like making my own mugs and placemats and that, because, I mean, at the end of the day, any of us can do it, but it's up to the marketing. If you get yourself a really great agent, they have those connections that they get you straight in front of the directors of the companies, and I don't do any of that. They put it there for me.
They know the marketplace better.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And so that's a great idea. So if you have a great little character that you want to promote, and concentrate on your seasons, put yourself a portfolio together with the seasons.
Yeah, very nice.
You know, you might concentrate on Halloween, Christmas. So you've got your
holidays.
Yeah, your holidays, and then your seasons. The most popular, of course, is Christmas, and then you've got Halloween. Halloween is massive as well.
Oh my gosh. Debbie, do you think they would let things like that into the South, the Southern U.S.? Halloween celebrations?
Oh yes, we have big celebrations.
Yeah, we have big Halloween celebrations here in Texas too, despite that it's.
I'm not really into Halloween myself, so I don't actually draw Halloween things, but I might get roped into it, but it's not really my thing. I love Christmas. I'm a real Christmas girl.
You're a Christmas girl. Well, great. Well, guys, this has been a real fun and exciting roller coaster ride of a Google Hangout. I wanted to go down the row real fast and make sure that everybody has gotten, if you have any announcements to make or anything you want to particularly brag about or any particular questions for either Cindy or we've got Mira with us, questions for Mira. Let's go down the row and then we'll fold up our picnic blanket and put our things away and close up our drinks and and we'll anchor the yacht. Aiko, do you have anything else? Do you have any questions for Mira? You know Mira, you've taken classes from Mira before too. You're just waving, okay. Well, thank you for sharing your work with us today, Mira, and we'll be in touch. And Debbie, do you have anything? You've turned your studio looks less cavernous right now. Did you turn some lights on?
Turn my lights on.
So good. Okay.
I just want to say that I've enjoyed taking your class, Mark, and you were the first class I took on illustration. Trying to get into this industry, I don't know if making a portfolio and showing up is the way to go, but
I think
that's how I'm headed.
Online presence, you know, a blog.
Right. That's what I mean. That's how do I do it? Cindy, I love working with you, and I can't wait to do more in this portrait class. My brain keeps telling me to paint because it's faster and easier for me, so I'm really having to slow down with this pencil and say, get this pencil out, because I've had to put all my paints away because that's all I want to do is paint.
I know what you mean, but now we know how to paint with our pencils, don't we?
Right, right.
Mayissa, you're in Dallas, aren't you?
Yes.
And do you have any thoughts or anything you want to share with us, or any questions for? Have you met Mira Reisberg, who's with the Children's Book Academy?
Some workshops. I saw the recording, you know, that you posted. Yeah. So, but I would like to take her course too.
Mira has a lot of fun, and she and Maya are great friends too, and there's just something going on all the time. And of course, Mira is an agent now too, and maybe we can talk her a children's book literary agent and artist rep, and maybe we can talk to her sometime about her insights into that end of the business.
I am also very new, and like I just want to be in this market. I want to learn how to do illustrations, so I'm going slow and making progress.
You're making great progress. You're doing beautiful work.
And I think that's what's important, is to make progress always. And so
Mira,
be patient too.
Mayissa, what in Brazil, is there a huge children's book industry, publishing industry, or is it a new industry?
Yes.
What kind of market do you think that is?
Yes, I have a friend that's a children's books illustrator there, and to be honest, I don't know a lot about the Brazilian market because I haven't been into it, or researching or anything. But yes, I know it is big too.
It's yes, huge.
Yeah, yes.
Well, great. Well, I'm so glad you could join us and that you got on webcam with us. And those of us who are continuing with Cindy, we'll be meeting once a month. It won't be a public event, but it'll be just a private fun hangout that we'll be doing once a month, just to sort of keep tabs on each other and show our work. And that will push us along in our homework. We'll start finishing our homework assignments then, I think, when the pressure will be on then. Mira, do you have anything coming up that you want to tell us about? We'll give you a few minutes. You can just break in when you hear this and bring us up to speed on what's going on at the Children's Book Academy. Scott, what have you got? Anything you want to brag about?
Sure. I just started a small project. You can find it on Facebook, Steampunk Originals. It's a 4-page comic book story. Just a fun little project. In fact, the writer who I'm working with is in Brazil.
Isn't the Brazilian writer, Steampunk? Are you going to do a Kickstarter program and turn it into an animated movie?
I'm just actually drawing the 4 pages. It's somebody else's project. It's a big project.
Oh.
Yeah. Great.
I've got a course in the works.
Okay. Tell us. Mira's all the way in California. Do you want to tell us more? And while Mira's kept picking up on the time delay, Virginia, what have you got going? And Virginia might have frozen. Okay. Well, for those of you who have hung through this whole broadcast, I'm going to put up a link to 3 workshops that Cindy has graciously given us in the past. Cindy, I don't think you'd mind if I did this. Remember the 3 workshops you gave us on?
Mark, okay, there's one, right now it's called Social Media Mama.
Okay.
I know, and it's got a shocking time lag. I don't know why that is. So.
Social Media Mama. That sounds very intriguing. We can go to your...
And it will be teaching people how to use social media to build their author or illustrator platforms.
Okay, very good. That's great, Mira.
And there's more.
childrensbookacademy.com. Scott, your Facebook page. Tell us the page again for your Steampunk.
Steampunk Originals.
Steampunk Originals. Is that the URL.com?
It's on Facebook.
Look for that Facebook page, Steampunk Originals.
Right.
Great. Okay. I think that's okay. So I was going to say that I'm going to put up the link on this page on this events page to 3 workshops amounting to about 6 hours worth of video training that Cindy gave us earlier in the year on shading and form, composition, and drawing the figure. And so it's free, and it's a nice way to get some free instruction from Cindy. And Cindy's website is Cindy, make sure I get the sequence right. I get the words mixed. I'm dyslexic. Drawpj.com. pjdraw.com.
Drawpj.com.
I know that. Yeah, drawpj.com, and I'll put my affiliate link up there on the creative on the YouTube the Google event live page, and Mira has graciously been putting that link out there too for everybody and publishing that link. Thank you, Mira. And we'll stop the broadcast now. There was a question.
Udemy, Mark.
Oh, Udemy. Yes. Let me just introduce that and then have you tell us a bit about that. And then Mayissa and I have a question for you, Cindy. When she goes to your page, Mayissa wants to sign up for the Portraiture Foundations course, but when she clicks on your page, she doesn't see how she can just simply go into the module and order the module separately.
Okay. I get you, yes. You just need to pay for that unit singly and then just tell me. The reason why we have it like that is because we don't want just an absolute beginner suddenly diving straight into Unit 4, for example, and not knowing anything about the other units. So as we ask them, you know, whether they're going to study with that unit or not. So if you just go on the buy your single unit option, just like Mark has given you with the link, is that the one that you're using, the link?
Yeah, the link.
Then write to me, email me, and tell me that it's the Unit 4 that you actually want. Is that clear?
So
yes.
She writes you she signs up, and then she writes you an email and tells you. She writes you an email at cindy@drawpj.com to say that she wants portraiture foundations.
Yeah. So
so I just sign up for Unit 1, and then I send you an email?
Yes, that's correct. And then I'll switch it over inside the system to give you Unit 4.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
Great. Thank you for that clarification.
I did that with someone else. I can't remember who else did that.
Cindy, are most of us signing up for your most of us are in your portraiture foundations, or are some of the gang signing up for Drawing 101?
We have got some in Unit 1 as well.
Okay, but we're all going to the
same.
It's a mixture. So all of that will be in the same folder. Aiko's already uploading homework into that folder, but whatever they're taking, they upload into that shared drive folder. Is that correct from here out?
Yes, yes. The idea, though, is that you're emailing me your homework.
Okay.
So I comment on it, and then when you get your comments, you can upload your work with the comments on it into the drive folder if you want to share with others. But please just remember to whole PDF file, because what I do for you all is I create a PDF, and in the PDF is your drawing with the arrows on it and the alphabet letters. And then alongside that, there is a written detailed explanation of the alphabet letters. So don't just upload your picture with the arrows on it. It won't mean any sense to anybody. Upload your whole PDF file into the drive. And then on our Facebook page, just upload your drawing without my arrows on it. So so basically when you email me your work, and then do your corrections and that after I've commented on your work. So
great.
So you email me your work, I comment on it, I create a PDF for you. You put that PDF up into the drive to share with each other, and then you put your corrected homework onto Facebook to share. You'll love that, because if you're doing the portrait unit, you'll be drawing Isha, my daughter, by about week 3. It'll be your first portrait, and it's just going to be so fantastic to see all the portraits on our Facebook page.
Yes,
so
that'll be so much fun. Well, the significance of that is that it's really one-on-one. You have a Cindy is teaching us individually one-on-one with her emails. That's so cool, Cindy. So, all right, now it's
important to know though that normally for everybody around the world, my instructors tell me so, and I'm absolutely chock-a-block full now. I can't do any more one-on-ones. So everybody else, whoever wants to enroll, you'll be studying under my instructors, but they are women that are they're older than me. They're beautiful women. I've chosen them personally out of hundreds of applicants, and I trained them myself, and I chose them for their empathy skills, and I chose those ladies out of my own course that I trained personally, and each of them studied with me for 2 years in my training program, and they know my course inside out. And those 3 ladies, those 3 instructors are incredible, and I can tell you now they get the same results that I get with my students, and they go through such rigorous training with me. So if you are new and you're thinking of enrolling in the course, you will get one of my instructors. It'll be Debbie, Tanis, or Bridget, and they're beautiful ladies, and they really will look after you. And also, I'm involved in the graded project for every single unit of the course, for every single person. So there.
Okay. Wow,
Just so you know.
really, I'm so glad you made that distinction, Cindy.
Yeah.
So the shading and form group, our little group from the summer, we're lucky and we're studying with you, but that's kind of a unique deal. So we do need to make that distinction. Okay, the Udemy charcoal portraiture course. Can you tell us a little? This is an amazing course on Udemy. It's only $27. It's for those of you who aren't in the Marks and Splashes group. So tell us about that video course.
Okay, so the Udemy course I've created, it's 11 hours of video. It's high definition. It's really clear and crisp. Now, if you've enrolled in the Unit 4 course with me, Portraiture, you've been given that link free. So you're able to study that free. The reason for that is that this charcoal course, it's called 12 Charcoal Drawing Techniques. It is actually a half of the portrait unit. So it is all the charcoal area. And the reason why I chose to put that into video is it's actually a very unique thing to learn to draw in charcoal. And there's so little education about drawing in charcoal on the internet that I just felt there was a real need for this. And honestly, I teach you 12 charcoal techniques. That is a lot of techniques from one stick of charcoal. So
yeah,
it really is worth it. And at $27, I'm just telling you that that price will go up in a couple of months' time. We're just using that as an introductory to get a heap of, hopefully, testimonials with 5 stars, please. It would be lovely.
Yes,
we really need those testimonials. We really do, because without the testimonials, people just don't want to trust it on Udemy. So if you could please, even if you just said, it was fun and I enjoyed it, 5 stars, then that would be great.
That's all she needs.
You have to mean it. But I'm not asking you to be, you know, putting 5 stars if you don't mean it. Anyway.
Very good.
So yeah, the Udemy course. Sorry, Mark. I'll just finish up. So the Udemy course is the 12 charcoal techniques. It is the entire section. The entire second part of Unit 4 Portraiture. You really should be looking at it and seeing it if you're studying portraiture. It starts from week 4 onwards. So girls that are enrolled in that, please go over and include that in your training and have a look at that.
It's wonderful because you get to see Cindy actually working in charcoal, demonstrating the tools in high definition video, and it's almost as good as if you were in a classroom with her in England. So we'll put the links to all of these on the events page, and we'll also put, for those of you who are new to Cindy and what we're talking about here, we'll put up links where you can take that 6 hours worth of 3 wonderful workshops that she taught earlier back in the spring, and you can take those for free and learn a lot. It'd be a great introduction to what her curriculum is all about. And so we're going to stop the broadcast now, guys. Now, by stopping the broadcast, it doesn't mean we all have to go. If you have anything you want to talk to us about individually, please stay in for a minute. It's getting late where Cindy is, but I'm going to end the broadcast, and we will we'll see you at the next one, whenever that ends.
Bye, everyone.
Okay, bye everybody. Thank you for your patience
Thank you so much.
and hanging in with us.